G'day, legends. Welcome back to our podcast session on SMSF loans, the real power tools for self-managed super funds. When it comes to property investments, we're diving into the twists and turns of these loans. And trust me, they're as unique as they are exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super curious. So, what exactly sets SMSF loans apart from your standard home loans?
Good question. SMSF loans let you borrow inside your super to snag property investments, but the trick is in how they're structured. Unlike a regular home loan, these come with a bare trust structure where the loan only recourses against the property purchased, not the whole super fund.
Right.
That means if things go sideways, your other super assets are safe.
That safety net sounds pretty vital. So, how does that bear trust stuff work exactly?
Well, it's like this. You've got the fund buying the property through a trust that holds just that asset. The lender can only claw back on that specific property
Yep,
if
makes
things break
sense.
down. It's all designed to protect your retirement savings in case of default.
Interesting. I know that these loans come with specific deposit requirements too, right? Something like a higher deposit or lower loan to value ratio.
Exactly. Typically, you need a heftier deposit because lenders tend to stick the LVR somewhere between 60%
Right.
and 80%. So compared to regular loans, you're expected to put in more equity up front.
That higher deposit can be a hurdle for some, though. Don't you think it narrows the field of investors?
It can definitely feel that way, but
Yeah.
it's really about balancing risk in that if you do get in, the loan structure protects your overall super savings. It's like you're paying a premium for extra security on your investments.
Right, security is key. So, when looking for a lender, it's not just about the lowest interest rate, is it?
Oh, absolutely not. It's critical to look at the overall package. You need a lender with real expertise in SMSF lending, someone who knows the ins and outs of limited recourse borrowing
Hmm.
arrangements. You want to check their track record, how many SMSF loans they've funded, and if they've got seasoned teams who can guide you through the maze.
It's like hiring a guide for a rugged trek, isn't it? You need someone who's been there before to ensure you don't end up lost in the bush.
Exactly that. And it's not just experience. With these loans, you need tailored features too. For instance, good SMSF loans might offer interest only repayments to ease cash flow, or even offset and redraw facilities to give you some breathing room when contributions are a bit patchy.
Right. Patchy contributions? I can relate to that. Money comes in unevenly sometimes. So, these extra flex options are like the secret sauce to managing your cash flow?
Spot on. They can turn a good loan into a great one if it aligns with your fund's overall strategy. It's about making sure the loan does more than just exist. It actually fuels your investment plan efficiently.
Now, let me ask, when it comes to the money side, rates are the headline act. But what about the fine print? Fees seem like the hidden baddies here.
Oh, absolutely. Rates are just part of the story. You've got to zoom out and look at application fees, ongoing charges, legal and valuation costs, and even those early exit
Yeah,
fees. Ignoring these can lead to a nasty surprise down the road, what some might call bill shock.
I'd say that's a point worth challenging. While some argue that chasing the lowest rate is enough, in my experience, the total cost often tells the real story. Would you agree?
Certainly, focusing solely on a flashy interest rate can be misleading. It's the overall cost, including all those smaller fees, that actually adds up, and there's no one size fits all answer here.
Right. Speaking of one size fits all, what about lenders offering some wiggle room with their LVRs? I've heard that some lenders are willing to adjust limits based on your entire SMSF setup.
Yeah, that's a great point. The best lenders often assess your complete financial picture, your liquidity, other assets, and overall portfolio. So they might offer a bit more flexibility with the LVR
Hmm.
than the standard 60, 80% bucket. It's all about fitting the loan to your fund's unique needs, not forcing your fund to fit into a rigid mold.
That kind of personalized approach feels like it's worth its weight in gold. And what about refinancing SMSF loans? I imagine that could really shake things up for someone already in the game.
Absolutely, refinancing can be a game changer. If you already have an SMSF loan, switching to a lender offering lower rates, new perks, or even unlocking extra equity for upcoming investments is like it's like revving up your
Yep,
financial
exactly.
engine.
Sounds like a smart upgrade. Kind of like swapping your old ride for a new one with more horsepower, right?
Exactly. And with that upgrade, you need a lender who's not just about the numbers, but also offers top notch customer support. After all, clear communication and dedicated advisory services mean you're not left stranded when you hit a bump in the road.
Right on. Customer support is often underrated. I'm all for some extra care in a field as complex as SMSF loans. Now, let's talk about compliance. For these loans are heavily regulated, aren't they?
They sure are. Compliance is the backbone of SMSF loans. Non compliance could trigger ATO penalties or even jeopardize your tax benefits. That's why it's crucial to go with lenders who are experts at setting up limited recourse borrowing arrangements and ensuring everything is airtight from an ATO perspective.
Exactly. So it's really about due diligence, right? Beyond the flashy rates and features, the lender's ability to navigate the regulatory maze is um, priceless.
Precisely. And never underestimate the power of sound advice from your accountant or SMSF advisor. Their real world experience can steer you clear of costly mistakes.
I can't agree more. Their insights, based on hands on experience, are like discovering hidden treasure when you're in the thick of decision making.
Now, before we wrap up, let's touch on one more angle: the balance between risk and reward. SMSF loans can seriously supercharge your retirement, but only if they're managed properly, right?
Yeah, that balance is tricky. On one hand, the potential returns from property investments can be huge, but missteps can impact your long term nest egg if things aren't done right.
Exactly. It's like assembling a complex puzzle. Every piece, the deposit, loan features, fees, lender expertise has to fit together perfectly. And while the rewards can be substantial, skimping on any detail can leave gaps that might hurt you later.
I do sometimes wonder, though, isn't there a risk of overcomplicating the setup? It feels like too many moving parts could make it overwhelming.
That's a fair challenge, but while the structure is intricate, that complexity is exactly what keeps your broader super protected. It requires, well, a bit of effort and informed decision making, but the trade off is a tailor made approach to growing your retirement savings and, of course, minimizing exposure if things go wrong.
Right. I get that, though I still think a simpler process might appeal more to some investors. The administrative and mental load can be heavy, don't you think?
Certainly, and that's why it's crucial to work with pros who can guide you through every step. You don't have to navigate that maze alone, and a knowledgeable advisor can really make a difference in demystifying the process.
Absolutely. Before we close, any final pearls of wisdom for our listeners who are mulling over an SMSF loan?
Just this: take your time, trust the experts, and make sure every aspect lines up with your long term goals. SMSF loans, when done right, can be a real powerhouse for your retirement, but they require a commitment to
Right
doing it
on.
properly.
There you have it, legends. Solid advice on SMSF loans, from deposit details to the nooks and crannies of compliance. Thanks for such an enlightening chat.
Cheers, and thanks for joining in, folks. Remember, knowledge is your best asset when you're building wealth, so always get the right guidance. Catch you next time.